And now for our next news special report.
Tonight we're diving into a story that's as bewildering as it is alarming. Imagine a Midwestern state, the heartland of America, unveiling a new state flag. But here's the twist. This flag bears a striking resemblance to a foreign emblem from a semi-autonomous region of Somalia. Now, why would Minnesota, a state known for its lakes and hardy American values, choose a design that mirrors a far-off land? It's a story that raises eyebrows and stirs questions. Is it a mere coincidence or a deeper cultural shift? We're about to unravel this mystery and expose the layers beneath. Don't switch off. This report isn't just about a piece of cloth. It's about identity, values, and the subtle changes shaping our republic. So stay tuned, because you don't want to miss our final thought on this one. Before we dive deeper into the special report, let's take a moment. The incisive news we deliver daily, it's made possible by our sponsors. And here's an analogy for you. Excess belly fat is like unwanted design elements on a flag. Both are unnecessary and can lead to significant problems. That's why, like many of you, I've turned to a revolutionary new product. It's expertly crafted with ingredients that reduce fat storage, speed up fat breakdown, and support weight management. And now you can get it at 51% off for the rest of the month or until stocks last. Don't wait. Visit trimwithgary.com to get yours. That's trimwithgary.com. Now, the moment began when a movement began that would shake the foundations of Minnesota's identity. It was a year when the radical left, emboldened by their crusade against the Confederate flag, turned their sights on the Minnesota state flag. Now, this flag, an emblem of pride for many, depicted a scene of white farmers tilling the land, a symbol of the state's rich agricultural history, alongside an American Indian on horseback. But to some, this was a symbol of offense, a relic that needed changing. Now, this movement to redefine Minnesota's symbolism was not an isolated event. Across the nation, we've witnessed a push to erase and rewrite history, to scrub clean the tapestry of America's past. But Minnesota's case stands out for its peculiarity and the unsettling questions it raises about cultural identity and influence. Now, the redesign process was a spectacle of democracy in action, or so it seemed. With a $35,000 budget, the Minnesota State Emblems Redesign Commission sifted through 2,600 submissions. The chosen entry, F1935, was selected on December 15th of 2023. Now, it's a design that at first glance seems innocuous, featuring green and white and light blue stripes and an 8-pointed star, but then the similarities to the Jubaland flag from Somalia became glaringly apparent. Jubaland, for those unfamiliar, is a semi-autonomous region in Somalia. The resemblance of Minnesota's proposed flag to that of a foreign entity, particularly one so distant and disconnected from America's Midwestern heritage, struck many as more than just coincidence. Look at the differences. I mean, they're almost identical. It's terrifying. Now, it begged the question, why does Minnesota's flag look like it belongs in East Africa? Well, the design choice becomes even more bewildering when considering the demographic dynamics at play. Minnesota is home to the largest Somali population in the West, with over 86,000 Somali Americans residing in the state. Now, this includes notable figures like Representative Ilhan Omar, who hails from Puntland, another region in Somalia. And the Twitter account End Wokeness brought this to the forefront with a tweet highlighting the coincidence, or perhaps the intentional selection, of a design that reflects a specific community's influence. As we explore this controversial decision, we must ask, what does this mean for Minnesota and for America as a whole? Are we witnessing a cultural shift where local identity is being overshadowed by global influences? And if so, at what cost to our national unity and shared heritage? The committee, chaired by Louis Fitch, faced a daunting task. They had to balance the diverse opinions and perspectives of Minnesotans while navigating a politically charged atmosphere of a flag redesign. In Fitch's words, quote, "The next generation will be raised with a new flag. It's going to happen." And that word resonate with a sense of inevitability. Yet his acknowledgement of the impossibility of pleasing everyone underscores the divisive nature of the undertaking. The original flag, with its depiction of a farmer and a Native American, was seen by some as an offensive portrayal, igniting debates about the representation of Native Americans in state symbols. The decision to overhaul the flag, however, seems to have opened a Pandora's box of issues far beyond the initial intent. Instead of uniting, The new design has sparked a debate that delves into the heart of identity politics and cultural representation. As we delve into this issue, we must consider the broader implications. Minnesota's flag redesign is not just a local matter, it's a microcosm of a larger narrative playing out across the country. A narrative where historical symbols are being reevaluated and often replaced in a bid to be more inclusive or politically correct. But at what point does this reevaluation cease to reflect the history and values of the majority and begin to cater to specific groups, potentially alienating others? This story is not just about a piece of cloth. It's about the soul of a state and, by extension, the nation. It's about the values and history we choose to celebrate and the messages we send to future generations. The flag, a symbol meant to unite, has become a battleground for cultural and political clashes. And in this battleground, the voices of everyday Minnesotans seems to be getting lost. Amidst the debates about cultural sensitivity and representation, where's the consideration for those who cherish the old flag for its historical significance? Where's the balance between respecting diverse cultures and maintaining a cohesive state identity that reflects the majority of its residents? The story of Minnesota's flag redesign is a cautionary tale about the complexities of cultural representation in our modern world. It's a tale that prompts us to question the direction in which our society is heading. Are we moving towards a future where every aspect of our public life is scrutinized and potentially altered in the name of inclusivity and political correctness? And if so, at what cost to our collective identity and shared history? And I believe we do have a clip here. Let's take a look at this clip.
From more than 2,500 submissions to just one flag finalist, the commission in charge of choosing our new state flag has unfurled their favorite. With stripes and a star, this is the winning design, but it may not be its final form. Our Caroline Cummings is at the state capitol with what still has to happen before it's ready to fly.
What a ride it's been to get here. I've been covering this story since day one, and after many weeks and many hours of meetings of this commission, now they are on a cusp of choosing that new state flag to fly across Minnesota next spring. And here's an idea of what it will look like. There's a geometric shape that resembles the shape of the state of Minnesota. The North Star is represented, and there's blue for Minnesota's waters and green for its land. But as you can see, there are other variations in design at play here, and the commission ultimately decided to leave that final discussion until next week so the public can see these ideas too. The commission is coming up against a clock. They have to present to the legislature a report with the seal and flag design by January 1st. Confident, though, that they will wrap up all of their work by Tuesday in order for this flag and seal to debut on Statehood Day next May. In St. Paul, Caroline Cummings, WCCO News.
If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. This call to action is not just about following a news channel. It's about engaging in a conversation that affects us all. It's about being part of a dialogue on what it means to be an American in an increasingly diverse and changing world. Now, in closing, the story of Minnesota's flag redesign is more than just a debate over colors and symbols. It's a reflection of the challenges facing our republic in an era of unprecedented cultural shifts. As we consider the implications of this redesign, we must ask ourselves what we stand for. The resemblance of Minnesota's new flag to that of a foreign region is not just a coincidence. It's a symbol of the changing fabric of our society. But in this change, we must not lose sight of our core values and history. Our flags and monuments and symbols are more than just relics. They're the embodiment of our shared experience, struggles, and triumphs. As Americans, it's our duty to ensure that our national identity remains strong and cohesive even as we evolve and grow. Remember, our strength lies in our unity and our respect for the foundational principles of this great republic. Let's not forget that.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.